Welcome to Millionaire Mindset Masterclass. This is presented by the Women in Business Project, which is a part of the AK Legacy Foundation. And today is May 20th, which is National Millionaire Day. It is also the 1 year anniversary for AK Legacy Foundation becoming a 501c3 registered nonprofit organization, even though we started in 2018, but today actually marks the 1 year anniversary of becoming a 501c3 organization. So what I would like to do, thank you. I see some congrats in the comments, so thank you. It couldn't be possible, of course, without all of our wonderful VIP members. You guys rock. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I see Miss Faith is ready. She is gonna help us. I'm gonna, right before I bring her on, let me get my announcements out the way. You know how that go. You got to get the announcement right at the beginning so that we don't have to double back to it. All right. All right, there we go. The AK Legacy Foundation, we are hosting our annual business conference and fundraiser gala. It is going to be in Dallas, Texas, October 15th through the 17th, 2021. And we have some awesome VIP members out in the Dallas, Fort Worth area that are already representing well. So I'm asking all of my members from Florida, Alabama, New Orleans, Louisiana, Georgia, just wherever you are, to join us over there. We have a couple of ladies out of California. So we want to show up. And right now we actually have a contest going. Whoever gets, whatever state get the most registered VIP members and just to join the organization, not necessarily joining to come to the conference, but just to get registered members. And right now, Texas is in the lead. So shout out to Texas for getting VIP members registered in the organization. So let's go ahead, and I am going to bring up Miss Faith. She is going to help us get our mind right. And so, like I said, this is the masterclass for Millionaire Mindset. Today marks the 1 year official date, etc. And look, shout out to Courtney Elsie. She is our registered agent. She was the one she got my mind right. She was like, look, you can't be just doing all this stuff for free. You have got to get registered. You have got to just make this official a nonprofit organization. And a lot of times, we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm sure each of us are going to touch on that. Sometimes we just want to save the world and help everybody and just zero in with our cape, but we need some money to do that. It's going to take some money to do that, because I don't care how much money you have, your money is for what it's for your purpose, some things that you have to do. So sometimes you could use a little help. And so that is the purpose of the AK Legacy Foundation. We are here to offer resources. And so I just want to shout out to Courtney for helping me get my mind set right about just, I can still donate services and I can still offer free products or things I need, but I need to do it in a proper manner. And that is really kind of part of, having your mindset. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring Miss Faith up and introduce her properly. Let me stop sharing. All right. Miss Faith Dickens, she is the lead counselor over at Live Again. Live Again is awesome. Just the whole thing. Live Again just sounds like I have a whole nother chance to start over. I don't know if that's a mission statement, but when I see Live Again, that's like, you know what? I need to try this again. And so Faith is, she is an entrepreneur. She is a pastor. So she knows a little bit about people on both sides. With all sorts of problems. But she's going to come and talk to us today about getting our mindset ready for becoming a millionaire or being a millionaire or maintaining our millionaire status if you're already a millionaire. All right, Miss Faith, I'm going to turn it over to you. Make sure did I make the wrong one? There we go.
Okay, great. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So thank you, Candy, for inviting me on to today's Millionaire Mindset. Congratulations. It's a lot of work doing this type of stuff, encouraging people and building people up. So I commend you for stepping out, being a trailblazer in your community, being a trailblazer in your family, being a trailblazer in your part of the world, being a trailblazer probably to a lot of people that you don't even know that you are impacting and influencing. So I thank you for that today. I wanted to start with when we talk about a millionaire mindset, one of the seasons in this season of my life, one of the things that God has really been dealing with about is more than what's going on around me, more than what anybody else has to say about me. What does faith say about faith, right? Because we know that having a millionaire mindset is much more than wanting or desiring or studying a luxury lifestyle, right? It starts with the mind. And so I want to start with some foundational scriptures because at the end of the day, people can prophesy, people can you can make decrees and declares, but at the end of the declarations rather, at the end of the day, we got to stand on what the word of God says concerning us, concerning our mind. And so every aspect of life that we attain to reach, especially when it's already written in the word, it's already set in motion. And so one of the things that I love to tell people is that there's a scripture that talks about we cannot prosper. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospereth. And so being a counselor, and like she said, and also a pastor and being in ministry, one of the things that I've learned is we could decree and declare all day, we can name it and claim it and all of that good stuff, right? That's wonderful. But at the end of the day, what is really happening with our soul? Have we really come to a place where we've processed past trauma, where we've processed things that people have spoken into your spirit, man? Maybe negative comments telling you you weren't gonna make it, you weren't gonna be nothing. You know, family members or teachers, people that came through the course of our lives that incepted seeds of doubt in terms of how we viewed ourselves. And so sometimes we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s trying to go on in this thing called life and be successful when the truth of the matter is we're still stuck. Like if you notice, sometimes people can reach a certain level of success, and then all of a sudden there's something that takes place where they literally are in a position where it's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? You know, like how do I advance beyond where I currently am? And so a lot of times it goes all the way back to something that probably happened in your childhood, in your adolescence, in your young adult life. And so it's important and it's vital that we have an understanding as we prepare our minds that it starts with how you see you. Doesn't matter how Candy see me. Doesn't matter how Desiree, Rhonda, or Kitty sees me. How does Faith see Faith? How does Candy see Candy? Right? And so it starts with how you think. You want to also be mindful of what you're taking in, your ear gates, your eye gates, what you're speaking. Ear gates, what are you hearing? What are you listening to? Are you listening to a bunch of negative things? Are you putting too much time into hearing and listening to stuff that does not necessarily coincide with the life you say you want? What are you watching? Do you spend a lot of time just watching TV? Right? One of the things that I can't stand, and I love movies and stuff like that, but in this season, because of the severity of purpose that I'm walking into, I don't watch a lot of TV. So a lot of times I could be working from home and the TV will never be turned on all day long. Like not even the news, right? Because God knows if you're on social media, if something going on, somebody gonna post it. But in my family is like, oh, you never watch the news? That's not good. Right now, I'm going through a detoxing phase. So I don't need to be getting all that stuff in my spirit. What we don't understand is what we watch and what we give our attention to and what we turn our affections over to incepts our spirit, man, has the ability, because now you've opened yourself up for these seeds to be planted And it could be something that doesn't even pertain to you, but because you heard it and you took it in your spirit, man, now you have that in addition to all the other things going on that you are constantly trying to negate to build this mindset. You got other garbage, trash inside of you because you simply need to know everything, need to hear everything. One of the things that I'm getting ready to do is to spend less time on social media. Like that is the biggest time waster. And it's so easy to get caught up. I call it a trick of the enemy because it's like a rabbit hole. You get on, you start scrolling, you click on one thing leads to another. You see somebody you ain't seen in years. And before you know it, you're there for a whole hour on social media, 45 minutes on social media when you could have been using that time to build yourself for what the life you say you want. So how we protect our ear gates, our eye gates, and lastly, the other thing I want to speak out. What are you saying? What do you say about you? How do you speak concerning you? Are you coming in agreement with the word of God concerning your life? Are you coming in agreement with the life that you say you want by how you speak? Even one of the things that my mother used to always say, years ago, I used to always like say stuff and be upset. When I get upset, I would say things out of my mouth that were total opposite to what I wanted. And my mom would always remind me, Faith, the Bible say that you're snared by the words of your own mouth. And so, and then she would always say, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so nobody has to come. The Satan ain't got to do it. He ain't got to send no demons and no imps. You do enough damage with your own mouth by saying things when you're in certain moments or having a rough time. You're building something. And we know if you're an entrepreneur, you're building a business, it ain't always easy. You don't always feel supported. You don't always feel the love. But you've got to grab hold to knowing who you are and why you are doing what you do. And so with that being said, I'm going to interject this. This isn't in my notes for this, but I posted a post a few moments ago and I took a picture and it says something like, my greatest flex is knowing that my identity is hidden in Christ. And I think that's in Colossians 1:3-4, I believe that is. But we got to know who we are. We have to know who we are, whether or not you came from a wealthy family, was born with a silver spoon in your mouth, or born in a shack by the railroad track. It doesn't matter. When you accepted Christ, when you begin to understand who you were in Him, developing your prayer life and getting in the word is going to help to negate all of those things that try to combat you from believing who God called you to be and who God says that you are. So the more we spend time feeding our mind with the word, with books that coincide with the industry that we're a part of, that we're wanting to impact, with millionaire tools and tips, with budgeting, understanding more about accounting and money and finance. The more we do those things, right, the more we're building ourselves and building a personal arsenal, even in our spirit man. And so what happens is we begin to build our confidence. And as we build our confidence, our faith is developed. And as our faith is developed, now we come to a place that no matter what we see, feel, taste, or touch, that thing or that circumstance is not more real than what God said that we could have in this life, not in the great by and by. We thank God for being able to live a life where we can live in eternity in heaven. But while we're here, there are some things that God has designated for us to have. There are some things that God has designated in some places that God has designated and predestined us to walk in, some lives that we are set to impact. And so our minds have to be in a place that no matter what's going on, we went through going through this pandemic, the coronavirus, if you're going to get the vaccination, if you're not going to get the vaccination, are you going to wear a mask, not wear a mask? Are you going to live in fear? They're talking about a gas shortage. Personally, I don't believe that there's a gas shortage. I believe that is a fear tactic to control people. But hey, y'all take it for what you want to. All I'm saying is when your mind is fortified, you ain't moved by none of that stuff. Now you're going to follow the necessary precautions. You want to walk in a place of wisdom. But as you're building a millionaire mindset, it starts in the mind. Proverbs 23:7, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. What are you? Who do you say you are? How do you feel about you? Because sometimes we're our greatest critic, right? Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves, which we need to be in some instances, but sometimes there's a level of doubt. And so your activities, right? Once we do day to day what we're supposed to do, whether it is your business stuff that you slated for the day, if you're an entrepreneur and you work a full-time job, however your schedule is, there should be constant activity that lead to the life you say you want. If that's reading, if that is strategizing, if that is planning, if that is exercising, because we got to be healthy, we got to be fit, all of these things. And so how are we managing our time? How are we managing our speech and our conversation? How are we managing our money? Right? Those are just some of the things that coincide with a millionaire mindset. Managing our money. So if we're climbing to millionaire mind, having a millionaire mindset and going into millionaire status, we've got to be cognizant on how we spend. We've got to be cognizant on how we steward the things that God has afforded to us. So I want to say this: prayer, worship, reading the word, getting and read prayer. Let me go into prayer, and I'm just going just a little bit, teeny weeny bit. Prayer is so important because in prayer, coupled with reading the word, I talked about earlier, confidence being built. This is the place where you get built and where you get edified and where you get fortified and strengthened in who you are as a believer, who you are knowing that you are direct heir to the throne of God. You are like an heir to Jesus Christ. Like, are you kidding me? Jesus, are you? So I'm supposed to not know who I am. So it's important that we get in the word and stay in the word on a consistent basis so that we can hear heaven. One of the places in your prayer closet as you pray and seek the Lord should be the boardroom. In the boardroom of prayer, this is where you get your strategy and your download on your industry and your instructions on how you should move. Because every good idea is not a God idea, right? Every good idea is not a God idea. What is God saying for you to do for your business, for your nonprofit, for your program, whatever it is that He's giving you? How does God want that to look? What should you be doing? Do you know you can go in the boardroom and sit at the table with God and He give you insight beyond where your industry is now in the future? So just keep that in mind, right? How is your work ethic? Are you consistent? Are you faithful to what you put your hands to do? Are you doing it with fervency and passion, right? And then you're going to continue to build your business. Now, this is an interesting one. Rest. Rest. Learn how to rest. And God, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because I struggle. Sometimes we lay down and we have things that we need to do, and we just need to rest in God. Relax. Like, once you've done all you know to do, leave it on God. All right. Um, and then lastly, who are you keeping company with? What type of people are you hanging out with? What type of people are you going to brunch with? What type of people are you going shopping with? What type of people are you spending time with on your off time, on the phone, on FaceTime? Are there people that are building as well? Because here's the thing: if they're building and you're building, y'all ain't gonna have a whole lot of time to talk anyway, because we too busy getting this work done. We won't have a lot of time to lollygag and play around. And are they really in your corner? Do they really want to see you succeed? Sometimes we're entertaining people that we know deep down inside, and we keep holding on to relationships that have long expired because we have this loyalty, because we've been knowing these people for a long time, or we feel like they're a family member or they're a close friend, when really perhaps in this season of your life that relationship could have expired. And people see and know where you're going. And so you have to be cognizant and discerning to know the type of people to have around you as you're building. It's like when you're most of you women that have had children, when you were in the labor in the delivery room, They did not allow just anybody to come. The father of the child, maybe one other person, and then the nurse and the doctors that will help him to deliver the baby. And so, because the environment has to be sterile. And so sometimes we bring people into the intimate recesses of when God is moving in our lives. And not to say you got to act funny or downplay people or say they're not going nowhere. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to be very strategic when you say you want to attain certain goals in life. When we talk about millionaire mindset, because it starts before the paper money ever shows up. It starts in how we move in our day-to-day actions, right? So what does your circle of influence look like? There's the inner court, outer court, and holy of holy in relationships. Who's in your holy of holies? Take a look. And if they're not people that that you're able to draw from, iron and sharpening iron, if they're not people that really, really want to see you thrive and reach these goals that you set out to attain, if they're not people that are encouraging you and they're trying to do the same thing, then you should probably pull back or start to reprioritize where you have people in your life. So I pray that this has been a blessing to you. It is so important that we keep our minds proper, that we go through the healing and the things that have happened to us in the past, that maybe we've been able to get a certain level of success, but perhaps you're hitting a ceiling because maybe there's some stuff from your past that you've not let yet process through that is preventing you from moving to this new place in millionaire status. And once you tweak that little thing, you'll see the floodgates open, because now God can follow through on his word that says, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospers. So when our soul is made whole and intact, then the earth truly is the Lord and the fullness thereof and all that dwell therein. So God can begin to let things move in your life at a rapid and accelerated speed when we deal with the stuff that we tried to bury. I love y'all to life. Thank you, Candy, again for having me on. And I pray that this has been a blessing to you. We can't hear you, Candy. I think you're muted.
There we go. All right. All right. Y'all can hear me loud and clear? All right, good. I'm on here twice. I'm like, I did a demo. So multitasking. I don't know if that's still such a thing. I thank you, Faith, for just giving it to us real. I mean, the things that we speak to ourselves, I think I shared that on Self Care Wednesday. What are you saying about yourself? What are you saying? You got to believe that you can actually achieve. You know, a lot of times when, just for instance, we put it out there, millionaire mindset. A lot of people are like, you know what? You know, I can't see myself making $1 million. No, they don't say it outwardly, they don't say it openly, but in their doubt, in their mind, they saw the flyer and it was like, oh, I need to be on there because I need to make $1 million. But what prevented you? Aside from being at work, don't let negative talk stop you, because no one else, I don't think no one else got on your post and said, you know what, you know you can't be a millionaire. Don't do that. So sometimes we're our worst critic. We're the ones that's holding ourselves back. And just as Faith said, you know, we need to line up with what we believe. If we know that God is our provider for those, you know, those of you that are in the faith, if you believe that He owns everything and you're one of His favorite children, because I know I'm His favorite, but if you're one of His favorite children, that you can have it all. So there's work ethic, there's prayer, there's consistency. Those are the things that Faith told us about. But before we can even do any of that, we got to believe in our mind. We got to have faith, and we got to believe that we can actually have those things. And so, having your mindset right makes everything else we're going to talk about today even possible. Leah is going to come on and talk to us about a little secret called, I'm not even going to tell her secret. She has a secret about how we can actually become a millionaire. And if you are a millionaire, how to protect your millions and how to get more millions. So she's going to share her secret. And we all know, we all want the secret, because you know what, working these 12, 16, 18 hours as an entrepreneur can get a little tiring. So anytime somebody has a secret, we want to hear it. So we're going to bring on Miss Leah Hall. She is financial advisor for How Money Works. And so if you're going to make a million or keep a million, you got to know how to make it work. So she's going to come on and share with us. So I am going to get out of her way, and then I'm going to actually come back and going to share some mathematical secrets with you as well. So I'm going to let Miss Leah come on and give us the spiel. I think I have to give her credentials. I tell everybody, one day when I get in my studio, I'm gonna have somebody to do all this. So I need some millions to do that with. You know, I gotta have some money. So I thank you, Faith, for getting my mind right. So come on, Leah, give me this secret so I can get this studio up and running.
Thank you so much, Candy, for inviting me today. This has been so awesome. And not that I have to, repeat what Faith said, but, good meat make its own gravy. That was just such a blessing. And I just thank you so much again, Miss Faith and Candy. When you're talking about a millionaire mindset, to go back to the basics, I just thought it was so rich to hear and to know that God created us for such a time as this. And I know you've heard that over and over again, but think about it. We could have been born in any space and time, but we were born right now. And we're all unique. We're all different. And he said, be fruitful and multiply. Each of us was given a seed. We were born with the seed of purpose. And so it's just so important for us to know that, as it says, in the word, he gives us ideas and dreams to make money. And so to know that God has for you what he has for you, that there's abundance, and you don't have to worry about what, sister girl is doing or queen over here is doing. You take care of you, have your own prayer and quiet time with the Lord and say, Lord, what did you give me? I am special. I am created. And start speaking those things maybe that you don't see. Speak those things which be not as though they were. And so what is the secret? Candy kind of set me up. The secret is not a secret, put God first in all you do and know that he will give you success. He has already stated that is what his promise is to you, that he will give you success when you put him first. And so speaking the word, because he watches over his word to make sure it comes to pass. So find the scriptures that you identify with, find the stories in the Bible that you identify with, and feed yourself on those things. Practicality. If your mindset isn't right, and like I said, I love the word. I took a lot of notes when Faith was talking. If you don't have your mindset right, money will actually run away from you. And God won't bless you because he can't trust you to manage it. And so, as Faith said, it starts with the basics. Whatever he has given you, give 10% unto him. That's his money. He created all the earth and the fullness thereof. Everything belongs to him. So give him his money back. Bottom line, period. That's it. 10%. Then you want to make sure with the rest, you're honoring him. Are you doing the things? Are you managing it well? It's a parable that talks about the different managers. The person that owned the field left and, 10, 20, 100-fold. What are you doing with what you have? So let's talk about that a little bit. The foundational is making sure you leave an inheritance for your children's children. And you say, well, how can I do that? I don't have any money now. But are you saving? Are you budgeting? And are you putting it in a place where it multiplies? As we know, the bank account is probably not the best place. That's a liquid asset. A little secret to the rich, and this is what Candy was talking about. There are products of life insurance out there where you can build cash value, and that some of them they grow with the market, called an index universal life policy, and some grow, outside of like in the market, where it's called a variable policy. And depending on where your comfort zone is, and I hate to use the word hide money, but you can hide money in a life insurance policy where no one really knows about it. You don't pay taxes. Think about it. You don't pay taxes on a life insurance policy. Creditors don't know about your life insurance policy. If it's growing with the market or in the market, and again, it depends on what you choose, but have it in a place where it is taxed free, is not taxed. So you can take the money out anytime. You can put a lot of money in it, and it's called what's called cash value. Now, some of you may have heard Dave Ramsey, Susie, or anybody buy term and invest the difference. That's fine if your choice is to buy term, but are you investing? Are you putting away 10, 20, 30? Are you leaving the coffee alone, or whatever your guilty pleasure is? Are you doing it too much? Is there somewhere that you can save and invest? Get with a financial professional and plan all this out. You don't have to be in a place where you feel like I can't. No. Figure out a way. Be creative and figure out a way that you can. And that's really the only secret. It's not a secret. Budget, save, and invest. And that's really the whole point of how do you get to be a millionaire? You get creative. Use the gift that God has given you, your seed. Multiply that gift. Be fruitful and multiply. And then all of that money that belongs to him, give it to him. And all the rest of it, you save, you invest, and you keep it moving. And that's my tip for today. And I just thank you so much for this time.
Don't worry, Miss Leah, you're not getting off that easy. So stick around, you and Faith. We're coming back. We're going to have an open discussion toward the end, where we want to open the lines and we want to hear from everyone that's on here, answer any questions. If you all have some tips, I would like to say that I want to say thank you, Leah, for, she says that she doesn't have any secrets, but I differ with her, because she had showed me some things, and I'm a financial planner. So, I know all about the money, I know where the money is, I know how to find it. And she showed me a few things with my own insurance that I had. And I was like, I didn't know I could do that. And so, so I'm working with her now so that I can learn more, so that I can share with you all. And so one of the things that Leah didn't mention is what I want to make sure that I put that out here, that every one of you that are women in business members or not, we have a no-cost financial planning meeting that we'll do with you, where we'll sit down and we'll look at what you have, and then we'll show you some options. Now, options are just that, they're options. We can show you, this is a great policy that you have, this is awesome, or we'll show you, okay, based on what you said you want to do, this may not be the best for you. And so one of the things that to be a millionaire, you got to face the reality. You need to have everything in front of you, see what you have, and see where you're trying to go, and see if it matches up. Because if I say I love hamburgers and I'm gonna cook hamburgers and we're gonna have hamburgers today, but then I go to the store and I come back with hot dogs, we're not having hamburgers. I mean, we're not having hamburgers today. We're having hot dogs. And if you're saying that I want to have this, I want to leave an inheritance for my kids, I want to pay off my debt, I want to take my business to the next level, I want to hire 10 people to work for me in my company, or I want to be able to take care of my mother. There are all these things that you say you want to do, but what you're working with is not going to get you there. And so our mission here in Women in Business, and I just got to tell the truth. A lot of you don't take advantage of a lot of the resources that we have, but that's okay. Faith always told us to get our mind right, and so now we got our mind right. Leah has presented some options, and it's not our products and services. We're just going to show you what you have, and we're going to compare it to what you said you want to do, and then we're going to give you some options. There might be 2 or 3 ways to do that. Rhonda may want to do it this way, and Desiree may want to do it that way. It's going to be tailor made for you based on what you say you want to do, because we got to first, you got to believe that you can do it. And if you're not on the right path, we just want to steer you on the right path. And if you are on the right path, we want to make sure you are protected. We want to make sure that you are properly insured, whether it's for personal, if it's commercial, whatever the case may be. We want to make sure that everything that you work hard for. I'm sure I'm not the only one that put in 12, 14, 16-hour days sometimes. I know all of us here can say, hey, I'm putting in those hours, and we don't want all of our hard work to be for nothing. And so thank you, Leah, for sharing that with us. And so I'm going to jump right into the mathematical part of it. And once I'm done with my part of the presentation, I want us to, I'm going to open the line so that we can dialogue and have some real talk about being millionaires. So I'm going to go ahead and do my part as well. And I just got so much I want to say at one time. I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I have to do it in sections. All right, so we're going to do some millionaire math. If anyone else is out there that's into math, you want to get your calculator, get your pen and paper out. And I hope you guys are taking notes, or if you just, at least watch the recording so that you can, watch it again later. So let me make sure, I want to make sure one thing before I start talking. Just hang on 1 second for me, guys. All right, there we go. All right, so millionaire math, the numbers don't lie. I am a tax strategist, financial planner. I help entrepreneurs, with the numbers. At the end of the year, this is the time that, hey, I'm going to tell you if you made money or if you lost money. Hey, I know you're the best at selling your product, but you're doing it as a hobby if the numbers don't come out right. So one of the things I like to do is show people how to duplicate or to make money or to earn money, where to invest so that you can have money to go to someone like Leah and say, hey, I have an extra $10,000. What do you recommend? Or I'll show people how to say where you're wasting. And I do it from a tax standpoint. So hold on 1 second here. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss anybody comments in the chat. Like I said, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna take my own advice because I'm gonna learn how to make enough money to where I can hire someone to read the chat to me. Hey, I believe it. I'm gonna be like the lady on the talk show with the people with the teleprompter waving and the words that's going on. We're gonna get there. We're gonna speak it. And not in arrogance. And the reason, and I don't want it just so that I can say I got it. I want it because that's gonna help me teach more people, reach more people, and to have a bigger platform for our VIP members. It is my goal and my mission to highlight you all and to give you all a platform to be able to advertise your business, to do your ministry work, or whatever it is that you're into. And so let's go ahead. Let's talk about this map here that I have up here. All right, so $1,000. I want everyone to think of one product that you could sell for $1,000. Something you're already doing. Something you are already doing. If you are in the travel industry, I see Desiree on here. I know she can put together a packet and send me somewhere really nice. If you ever want to go on a vacation and you just like, what, I got $5,000 and I want to go somewhere really nice, and go to Desiree. If you say, look, hey, I got $1,000, she'll send you with somewhere. I don't know how far you're gonna go, but she can get you somewhere. So, but Think of something you can do for $1,000. If you were into services, think of something that you could put together. Just think of one thing. And I know if you, I, I'm working on it. I mean, I can do 1,000 things for $1, but think of one thing that you can do for $1,000. I want everybody to kind of write that down, jot it down, put it in your mind. Think of the one thing you can do for $1,000. And you got to know your worth. You got to know you have something that you can offer for $1,000. Something legal. Okay, let me throw it out there now. On this side, I know back in the day we probably, yeah, I need you today. What could you do for $1,000 today? One thing that you can think of that you can offer. And if you're already offering something for $1,000, we're right on target. Now, of course, we can give or take if it's $950, if it's $1,200. Think of one thing that you can do that's $1,000. All right. And you got to know your work. You got to know that something in your intellect, something in your creative gene, something that you can put your hands to is in you that you could charge that much for that one product or that one session or that one plan, the one something. It depends on what type of business you're in. And you can close a one sale with one person one time for $1,000. You can do that. We all can think of something because we've done it. Think about it. You've bought a car. There's some people, bought shoes that cost that much. Computers. Oh, wait. I know we all bought one of these. These things, if you look at it, they're $34 a month on your plan. But if you look at the buyout when you first get it, these things are $1,000. So we've all bought something that was $1,000. Didn't think twice about it. Tuition. Somebody's in college. You bought some books. You think about it. So you have something of value that's $1,000. And so if you do that 7 times a week, that's going to get you $28,000 a month. Give or take a little bit. So just think about it. Think about it. They're already doing it. AT&T, Verizon, Walmart. They're already making $28,000 a month. It was a bad month for them. Think about it. You're going Verizon. If all of us that are on here, let's see, it is how many of us on here today? 9 of us, I think. If all 9 of us walk in a store, a cell phone store right now, and all of us get a new iPhone, we've done it. Because we gotta get the accessories too. Don't forget, we gotta get the accessories and all the other stuff. We're close to walking out of there right at 28,000. We ain't far from it. So you gotta know that it's already happening. If all of us go into Walmart right now and then look around and count the people that's in there, it's 300-400 people in Walmart. We're all in there at stay in there 1 hour. They've made $28,000. So why is it that we can't do it? It all goes back to that mindset. Faith already told us that. And then Leah has also told us that we're probably not putting our money where it's making the money. Think about banks, big banks. Well, all banks, but think about big banks more so. Traditional banks, we put our money in the bank. They take the money that we put in the bank and then they go invest it. My husband has a 401k with the company, and I'm nosy, so I'll go and read the statements. A lot of us, if you're paying a 401k through your employer, I hope you're reading it. Go and read it. You'll be surprised. And they're on there. It says JP Morgan Chase. Well, it's a bank. I know I have some money at Chase, so I put the money in Chase. Chase take my money and then they go reinvest it. Okay. So they're taking our money and investing it, and so it happened. $28,000 is nothing. Go and read the report. I'm into stocks and digital currency. I believe in all of it. I'm learning so that I can really get into it. And trust me, everything that I learn, I will come back and share you guys. I'm actually in a class now. And on there, if you go on one of those apps, so let's say you don't know a whole lot about it, and you go to buy stock, at the bottom, it'll tell you where this company is currently trading $1 million this hour. I mean, there's some people trading right now, putting $1 million into something. So it happens. So once you know that it's already happening, this is not something you got to go and create. People are already making $28,000 in a month, and some in an hour, some in a day, some in a week. But $28,000 a month is very obtainable. There's a multi-level marketing company that I'm in, and one of the gentlemen. So yes, I do MLM. So you just got to read and understand what you're getting into. Read the fine print, and then you decide if this is something you want to put your time and money in. All of them aren't bad. And if you say that MLMs don't work, then you're missing it. Now, I'm not saying it's the end all to be all, but a lot of them actually do work. Um, but anyway, the total sidebar. But one of the gentlemen, he actually brings home about $35,000 a month. How do I know? Because I do his taxes. you know. So he's making $35,000 a month doing an MLM, and that's like, some months it might be 28,000, and the next month 35, and the next month it might be 43. So it fluctuates, but he's making that much money a month, and trust me, he's not lifting a finger. So you got to know that it's already out there. All right. So if you do 28 products a month of the $1,000 that you can think of something that if you sell 28 of those in a month, then you're gonna get this in a 3-year period. Well, in 1 year you'll come up with you'll come up with $336,000. That's a lot of money, or is it? Not really. I have some clients that I do their taxes, 2 people working, full-time job, and a nice job, of course, but they're making $250,000 on the average. A working couple, different states, they make a little bit more money. Like California, they make a little bit more money. But think about it: 2 people working 2 full-time jobs make $250,000. How far off are they from 336? Not that much further. If you think about it, just think about if they had a business on top of that. There are regular, normal, everyday Americans making that much money a year and not realizing it because, number one, they're not doing what we talked about earlier. They're not budgeting. They're not saving. They're not tracking their spending. Do you honestly know how much money comes through your hands? Think about it. My dad, if he ever sees this, oh well, he has a pocket notebook, little flip notebook, the one you pay 25 cents for. And if he bought a honey bun, he wrote it down. He did that for an entire year, every penny. If he gave somebody a quarter at the stop sign, he wrote everything down. And and to see how much money he went through is amazing. If we could just start tracking it, putting it in writing. I know we got these cell phones, but no, I'm talking about getting an old school notebook, put it, writing it. There's something about writing the vision. It's something about paper and transferring it out of your mind onto paper where you can post it up on the board and be like, dang, I spent $50 this week on fast food. Empty nesters, that's kind of like okay for us because I could spend $50 at the grocery store and it'd be the same, but whatever. You follow me. What I'm saying is, where can you save some money? Because we always heard Leah say we need to get some type of investment going. Whatever your thing is, it might not be life insurance. It might be digital currency. You need to do something because we already know that 1% that the bank pays us ain't gonna get it. But if you do that for 3 years, you make $1 million. So think about something that we've been doing for the last 3 years. If we just kind of multiply that. So let's just say, well, you said, well, I don't have a product that I can sell for $1,000. Well, if you have somebody on your team, maybe you have a $333 product, and it's you, and you can get maybe one other person to do it with you and another person. So now you have 3 people doing something for $333. There you go. There you go. You're 1,000. So you got to get creative. I heard that. I don't know whether it was Faith or Leah, but I kept hearing that word creative. You got to get creative. Once you decide in your mind that you can obtain it and that you can have it, you'll start thinking of some stuff. I know I'm thinking of some stuff while I'm talking. Like, there's a product, there's a service that I offer to business clients. It's $975. I just thought about it. You know what? I could just add another $25 to that and identify 7 people. At least if you just do it one time, if you could just sell it one time, it'll motivate you. I'm thinking, all right, I already got 7 people that I'm gonna approach with it. If I can just do it if I can just do it just one time, you gotta get going to get it going. Now, I'm not saying your first week out the gate, but I'm not gonna say that you can't. So I mean, I don't know what your products and services are. So we do want to be realistic, but I don't see why it can't be a real goal. And so that is something that, like the last item there says it's a real goal. You can actually aim to make $1 million. Um, like I said, my father did it 3 times, um, but he lacked those first 2 components, the mindset. And he doesn't mind me talking about it because he's in the process of writing a book about it. So he's gonna tell his own business. But he got it 3 times. So I said, and my crazy self should have been taking notes. So now he's listening to get the mind right side, and now I'm listening to the millionaire mathematical side. So I think we're gonna be okay. So if you started today, which is 2021, and in 3 years be 2024, we could be calling Desiree in 2025 talking about that all expense paid trip to Greece. So thank you, Miss Rhonda. Thank you. And so, we could be putting some of this stuff to good use. So, I just really, I saw the Rich Carlton yacht. I said, forget a 50th birthday party. When I turn 50, I want to be on that yacht. So you start getting yourself some goals. You need money to do this stuff. We don't away with wishing, away with hoping. And I'm not talking about having hope in the Lord. I'm talking about away with hoping, okay, I'm going to be able to buy that purse, or I'm hoping I'm able to buy that house. Let's put together a plan, and that's what we're here for. Let's sit down, let's strategize, let's see where you are, let's see where you want to go, and we'll help you get there. It may take all of us, it may take more than just myself. I may have to call and different ladies that are into different fields just to help you in your industry. But that's what we're here for. We're in the business. We are here to help you get to your goal, whatever they are. Don't think that they're too out there. Because trust me, if y'all knew what I was thinking about doing, y'all be like, let's pray for her. But I'm really out there with it because there's so many things that I want to do for others that I know that I'm going to need more than the money that I make. And so, and then we want to scale that once you obtain this. So if you have to, let's say you want to say, I want to make $1,000 a month. I want to make $1,000 a week. Whatever your goal is, let's start there. Let's start there. But if you use the same principle and you apply it, the numbers are not going to lie. Walmart do it all day, every day. And we go there. Verizon, I know they do it. I pay my cell phone bill, and it's ridiculous. So I sat down with the business manager and I said, okay, how can we cut this bill so that I can have the services that I need, that I'm not paying so much money? Do you know they did it for me? I saved $150 off my bill just because I made the phone call. So if there's something that you want to know how to do, let us help you. Let us help you. All right. So let's look at this mathematical equation again before I move it off to the next thing. You do $1,000 7 times a week. That's going to get you $28,000 a month. Now, you can break that all the way up into other things, but you get the point. And if you do that for 12 months, you get $336,000 by the end of the year. And like I already told you, I have clients that are doing that, working 2 jobs, some doing it with a business and somebody got a job. However, people are making that kind of money on a regular. And then from there, you do that for 3 years consecutively, then you get. But of course, if you're doing more, it'll take you less time, and if you're doing less, it'll take you a little longer. But so it just kind of depends on your work ethics and what you're actually into. And like I always tell people, leverage time. If you're doing $300 a week and you have two other people doing $300 a week, you guys can do this, so it can be done. It can be done. All right. So we're gonna have our open discussion, but before, I don't want this to just be, oh, this was some great information and now you're powered up and motivated, but that's it. So what we did was, through the foundation, it's all nonprofit. It's a nonprofit effort. We're going to do the Millionaire Mindset Masterclass once a month, and it's going to be a monthly roundtable discussion. It's going to come with a binder with a plan of action, and we're going to actually, the first thing we would have to do is figure out where you're trying to get to, so we can help you get there. And the best way to get there is through some accountability, an action plan, and some resources and solutions. Because even if I sit down with you and you figure out what it is that you want to do, and I give you this 12-month plan, what if you don't have the resources or the solutions to do it? So we're working to make sure that you have the resources. What if you need to learn how to do something? So whatever it is, your product or service that you're already in, we want to help you make your million with that. How awesome would it be in 3 to 4 years to have this thing? Because we're going to do this. This is going to be our once a year Millionaire Mindset Masterclass. This is going to be once a year, an annual event, because every June we'll open an enrollment and we'll take however many people want to sign up, and we're going to get them going. And it's going to take us so the first year, it's just going to be planning and strategizing, getting it together. And you may already have a business coach. You may have a financial coach. We want to take what you're already doing and show you how to scale that into making it. So you don't have to stop doing what you're doing. We want to show you how to take that and make that into your million or millions if you're already a millionaire. I'm sure every millionaire want another million. They don't make $1 million and then they stop. So if you're currently a millionaire, we want you on our team. We need to hear from you. Tell us how you did it. I mean, trust me, we're gonna be listening. So the purpose of the master class for this initiative is $25 a month, and what that does is helps us pay for the resources that you're gonna need. So it's almost like a savings. We give this back to you in whatever form that we need, but it's gonna come with a binder. It's gonna come with a support system, which is us. We're gonna all rally around and support you. You get me. You need a bear hug. Whatever. You're gonna get advertising opportunities because whatever your products and services are, people gotta know you're selling it, and so that's part of the $25 a month is gonna go helping with. We may do a radio commercial or something. Just whatever we need to do. Those things aren't free. And so we're going to do that. And all this is going to go through the foundation, the AK Legacy Foundation. So it is our mission to help women in business. And so this is the registration fee is $50. Of course, the first month is $50 because we got to buy the binder. Duh. And so we don't want to go in debt doing this, but we don't want it to be a burden on you. And so it's going to be a once a month, 90 minutes. But of course, leading up to that, we're going to find out what you're doing. For example, I'm working with a business coach, and he gave me a set of instructions. And so some of the things he told me that I needed to do, I found out there was a cost for some of this stuff. So I'm getting the advice, but now I need the resources. So I don't know how to find certain things, or I don't have the time, or whatever the case may be. So we're just going to be a support system to what you're already doing. So we're not trying to pull you from whatever it is that you're doing. If you have a business coach, if you have a pastor, definitely we're not trying to take the place of your pastor, whatever, your fitness coach. If you're in a weight loss program, whatever it is, if you're part of an MLM and they have their the thing that you have to do, whatever you're already doing, we're here to help. And this is going to be a support system. Now, enrollment doesn't start till June, so you actually have a few days to think about it. And the commitment is just to come and chat and figure out, and then not just talk just to be talking. We're going to actually have notebook and paper out. We're going to be scratching off some things. We're going to be brainstorming. Whatever it is that we have to do, it's going to be our goal to track your progress, because you said that you're paying for a coach. Okay, you're paying for a weight loss coach. All right, you're paying for a business strategy coach. Whatever you're paying for, but we want to actually push you through this, and we want to track your progress so we can come back and say, you know what, you didn't have a business coach, but she had one and she got here faster. We want to be able to do some what they call research. This is going to let us know, to let you know what's working for you and what's not. And so we're going to do it strategically. I heard that word earlier. That's my favorite, one of my favorite words, because I am a what, financial strategist. So I love the word strategic, strategy. That is my word. And so that is what we're going to do. So let's open it up for discussions and questions. Um, Let me open up for everybody. All right, let's see. All right, so now if you want to speak, come on camera. Everybody, you're able to do that. Just simply unmute yourself, and I am looking forward to hearing from each of you. So don't y'all all jump on at the same time, though. All right, anybody? Somebody, I'm reading the chat. Okay, Miss Rhonda had to get off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep recording. Or what do you think? You think I should not? What you think? What y'all think? If we should record the Q&A, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna ask some really deep questions. All right, so let's do.
I just want to encourage everybody that this is going to women in business. So yes, it's recorded, but it can help. Your questions can help other people. And one thing that I thought about is, we have to be able to serve. What is it that people really, really want? Because what they really, really want, they'll pay for it. And it's not a bad thing if you're providing a good service or you're providing a good product, whatever it is. It's okay to serve and to sell. That's not a bad word. Another thing is the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. We don't think about it, but there's different ways to earn money as well. A job. I have a job. That's perfectly fine. Self-employment. Do you have a product or service that you can do for self-employment where you control it? So the job controls you. You control the job. That's self-employment. Or you can be a business owner. And with the business owner, that just means you own a system. And so that's what Candy's talking about, is there are systems and things that you can do in order to make things easier and for money to come to you. Those systems are leveraging time, like she said, or yes, leveraging people, having other people do what you do, training and teaching. All of that brings you income. And then the last quadrant is investing, having your money work for you. And before I got into financial services, I had no idea there was ways for your money to actually grow by itself without you. Your money's working hard and growing without you 24/7. Wow, yes, give me some of that. So there's different quadrants. Having a job, owning a business, and investing. Another concept that actually Pastor Darren, we talked about a while ago in one of the, again, you have to have a coach. We don't have to have a coach. If you want to do better, someone who's done it, follow them, follow the leader, He talked about there's different types of money. And I was like, what? Yeah. So your intellectual property, what do you know that other people don't know? That's how people do the books. That's how they do the courses, there's different ways of making money. Then there's also residual money.
One of my favorites, one of Desiree's favorites.
So you get money, you do something one time, but you get paid over and over and over. So there's different ways of making money. We definitely want to support you, support and serve. That's the heart, that's the mission, that's the goal, to help you be the best and do the best and reach your goals.
All right, thank you, Miss Leah. She already know I'm gonna be dialing her number like, Leah, I need you 911. Anyone else want to add comments, questions, concerns? complaints, we're open. Come on, somebody, bring it on before we wrap it up. All right.
Candy.
Yes, ma'am.
So to piggyback off of what she said and what you were saying earlier about, because I took my notes. I did. I took notes. Always a student, right? I think that what many of us do is we have spurts of momentum, right? We have spurts of momentum. Well, we'll do something for a time or season, and then we don't do it at that same momentum and fervency consistently. So even as we were speaking, if I can be transparent, even for myself, I'm sitting here as my mind is like I'm like thinking, there's so many things that I can do as you're building. And so I think that one of the things is she said something about support and serve that I've often done but didn't capitalize on a lot was I offered a lot of free webinars and seminars and this and that. And people, it's amazing because I hear people say, oh, well, there's no help out there for this if you're dealing with that. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, did you read the paper, anime? Read, right? And it's like, I'm literally practically, and Desiree has been, thank you so much, Desiree. She's been incredible. She'll like come to me and be like, hey, I want to sponsor some people. And I'll literally like do a post and be like, hey, if you need a sponsor for this, and no, very few people will reach out. And I'm saying that to say that hungry people eat. And so in terms of the consistency, I think it becomes a point where I hate to go here. We really have to go back to our circles and what we're feeding off of. Because if we're being around people that's accustomed to the old faith from a prior expired season in my life, they're not in a position, this is good, they're not in a position to push me for where my next is. As a matter of fact, they can't even see where I'm going. Like, you think I'm acting funny, but I've gotten a hold to what God has said. I've taken it in, and you're still looking at me from 5 years ago when I was in a totally different place. Part of the process needed to get here today, but I'm not that person. I'm constantly evolving. Like, I don't even know the fullness of who God has called me to be, right? Because we're living it. So I think that as it relates to the $1,000 for a product, coming together to collaborate with other people to make that happen, I think it takes really, really, really in your heart of hearts, we may have to tell some people in some rooms goodbye. Like, love them, be there for them if they need you, if that's what it comes to. But on a serious note, we may really have to reconsider what we're giving our space, who we're giving access to. That's it. It's so important that we guard the access because, again, like that baby being born, that baby cannot be born in an environment where people coming in from outside just got off work, they cutting the grass, they just came from their shift on their job and they got all kind of smut on them. No, you don't want to bring a new baby into that. So your thing that you're building, your business, your ministry, the products and the services and the ideas. I have a friend, he's so sweet. The Lord was putting in my heart, stop telling everything. You ain't got to tell all your steps. Like, get with people that can hold it, because when she talked about intellectual property, people will take an idea. People, copyright infringement, it's a real thing. People steal stuff. They're desperate. So protect what God has given you. Place it in the right hands. Do what you need to do to keep that momentum going. Even because you're going to have some hard days. This is the God of this truth. You're going to have some days where you feel real defeated. Like, is this even worth it? It is. And those are the days you got to fight the hardest. And those are the days that you'll yield an increase where you'll end up impacting someone's business, someone's life, that you like, wow, what if I would have quit? What if I would have given in to today's frustration? So that's why prayer and worship is so important, to keep our spirits in a certain place. But that momentum, We gotta maintain that momentum and get people out of our life that is sucking the life out of us and draining us like a battery. No, if you go around somebody and you more tired than uplifted after you finish conversing with them or dealing with them, that is not somebody. It could be your mama, Lord have mercy. It could be your daddy. If they're gonna be draining, you need to strategize when you're gonna deal with them. Don't be like giving them all that free access to you because it's too much. Somebody in the family got to make it. Somebody in the region got to make it. If it's gonna be me, then I got to turn certain stuff down. Yeah. And so watch this. Kings and queens are groomed a certain way. They don't get the life everybody else have in terms of doing what they want to do and acting a fool. Even how we maintain ourselves on social media, what we like and what we make comments about. Some of that stuff is foolishness. I look at people posts that I really love dearly and have so much respect for, and you look at them like, if that's how your mindset is, I can't be doing no business with you. I don't want to collaborate with you on some foolishness.
Right. And it's so funny you say that. One of the slides that I took out, it said, because I was, trying to keep the time, and it said, you are a product of your environment. And we hear that all the time when it deals with poverty. But why can't we be a product of our environment if we, Women in Business has created, through the AK Legacy Foundation, have created an environment for success. So if we're going to be, and I'm not, you all are already members, so I'm not trying to sell you. You're already a VIP member. That's why you're on here. But for those that are not, we're not trying to sell you to be a part. We're trying to offer you an opportunity to be in a circle so that you can be a product of it. We're all successful already. We're just on our way to another level of success. And so if we're going to be a product of our environment, why can't that apply to a successful environment? The building where I am, a lot of people say, you did so well. I just moved to a new location where I pray to be long, have longevity. And a lot of people say, well, you were doing so well at home. And, why will you pay for office space? I'm not paying for a physical space. I'm paying for the positive environment that I'm in. This place where I am, it just puts you in I feel creative when I walk through the door. And not that I wasn't creative at home. Y'all know how it is when you work from home. Not for everybody, but for me, I started washing dishes. TV was on. I was folding laundry, and I was like, you know what? I can't. Now, somebody else can fly and flourish from working from home. I just couldn't. So sometimes when you know what you need to be successful, like Faith said, you're going to cut some people off. You have to change the scenery. This is the season where there's really no excuses. 2020, people were giving away content. I'm talking about if you wanted to learn how to fry fish outside on the ice popsicle, you could have. They were teaching how to do that. They were teaching how to do everything. This year is about applying what we learned. And a part of applying what we learned is making some adjustment. And so we can be a product of our environment. And I truly believe that pulling together with one another, we're going to always be doing stuff for women in business. So no, you don't have to be a part of the masterclass to get that. That is, that's just something different. But be a product of your environment. Like Faith said, we got to cut them people off, cut them off. If you have to change environment, do what you have to do, whatever it is. If you got to ask questions, if you got to get some uncomfortableness, let's do it. I mean, I'm talking to myself. I'm, like I said, I had a product that was was 975 because it's about to be go up a little bit. So if I gotta have motivation enough to know to offer that to more people. I offered it to one person, they were like, okay, sure. And they just handed the card out and I was sitting there like, okay, so I could get used to this. But that, and it's not to say because the money part of it, it was just about the mindset of me getting over the hurdle of even just asking for it. I was more proud of myself for just asking. I wasn't even, I mean, of course, thank God for the money. Trust me, I have college students. It's going to get put to good use. And a grandbaby. Trust me, this ain't the life of Raleigh over here yet. But just getting past asking. And so I want to be able to have that product that I want all of us to be a product of that environment. If Kitty comes on and she said, hey, I somebody bought my book and they paid $100 for my book. I don't know. That's unheard of. Well, it shouldn't be. We're going to change the culture. Who says we can't? You know? So that's just my spiel on it. This is gonna be documented, our progress. And I'm excited to see what we're gonna get into, because y'all know, if I'm crazy enough to think something, I'm crazy enough to believe it's gonna happen. If I put it out there, and it's not in me, but it's just in the fact that I truly believe, besides me being God's favorite, I truly believe that He giving me a chance to live again, like I told Faith, a chance to start over, to do it over, and not for any glory for me, but so because I know for the last 20 something years I've been saying I'm a child of the King. Well, the child of the King need to reflect that, and so now it's more so about being a proper representation in the earth. Continue to operate in integrity. We're not going to be scheming. We're not going to be lying. We're not going to be jumping through no hoop to get it. We're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it the God way, because we're going to do like what Faith said. We're going to spend some time in prayer. We're going to get before the Lord and find out what it is that He wants us to do. We're going to take that, get with a business coach. Okay. We're going to get with our fitness coach or our tax preparer, our Sunday school teacher, whoever it is you need to get with, and get some accountability going. We're going to report back to women in business and say, hey, this is what we're doing. And this is the service that I can offer someone else. If I need to know how to do hair, I need to go talk to one of our beauticians. They may need to know how to do their taxes. We need to be able to change the culture. The only way we are going to get there is we support one another. And I always say, if one won't, God already got somebody else who will. So since you all are already members, don't treat it like a gym membership. Don't just pay your membership fees and then don't show up. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about you. So any questions, any comments, I want to be proper, yeah, I see in the chat. Yes, I'm gonna be proper representation. um, I'm not just going to be happy on Sundays. I'm going to be happy on Wednesday when I go to pay my light bill, and there's a lady in there who is struggling. I want to be able to say I'm going to pay it. I saw someone put on social media that they were going to pay for somebody else's food, but then when the person said how much the other person's food was, they was like, oh, they didn't have it. They were trying to bless somebody and couldn't bless them. I was like, you know what? It's not for us. I have been in the line and didn't have the money, and somebody paid for my food, and they didn't even know my situation because I didn't look like it. They paid for my food. They don't know when I got to that car, I must have cried for an hour straight because I felt like the Lord was letting me know don't quit. So I know what motivation that gave me to start again, to be encouraged. So I want to do that same thing for somebody else, but I can't do it if I can't pay my own bills. So that's why we want to be able to create the environment for the millionaire mindset, not just for money. Even though I just showed you guys how to make it, we're gonna make that. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be ready. But we also want to do it because we want to be a blessing, whatever the case may be. So, any other comments, questions, concerns? Like I said, I will email out the Millionaire Mindset Masterclass. I'll send it out to you guys via email. And so we're almost to our 90-minute mark, which is our max. So anyone else have any questions, comments before we get out of here? All right. All right. I appreciate you all. This has been wonderful as always. Anytime I get to hang out with you guys. So I'm going to put the slide back up just in case anybody wants to take a look at the formula. And you guys have a great rest of your day.